has to do with the concept of the crybullying. I feel like right now, I think there's like too much of a combination of things that are driving me insane. And I'm either going to like dramatically divert the way that I engage with people, or I just have to settle some things in my brain. And I've already like bounced a few ideas around. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm pretty sure, I think I'm going to axe any introduction of me as progressive or far left. And I think I'm probably going to cut ties with anything that has anything to do with that from now on. I don't know if I'm going to ever associate with any of that shit again. The spaces are driving me insane. I think the people are mostly horrible, and the ones that aren't calling them out don't like make it. So I don't know. I think the combination of things I think right now that are overloading my brain too much are, there's a combination of things that are happening that are driving me too insane right now that I don't know if I can handle all of them. Do you think fans' criticisms of you optically can come down to their own insecurities, like they can't fathom you being okay, that other streamer fans don't like you? It's like they think people hating you looks bad on them? No. I think that what happens is I set a certain standard of behavior, and then there are two huge things that happen. One is kind of fair, and the other is understandable, but incredibly annoying. The first thing is that if we set a certain standard of behavior, people obviously expect me to follow it, which is fair. And I typically set a standard of behavior, like don't attack people's families, blah, 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 which is like fair. And if people see me not live up to that standard, like, oh, well, this is disappointing. And then anything that I say in response to that, okay, well, what about this or that? I'm like, oh, well, are we going to reduce ourselves to those communities? Like, is that like, then why even have the standards of behavior? I sympathize with that point of view. I think the annoying thing is people don't have my perspective. And that part is a lot. That part is a lot to deal with. Because generally, if you see me go unhinged on someone on Twitter, like you might think, actually, there were 2 Reddit threads that actually encapsulated this pretty well. But typically, if you see me go unhinged on someone on Twitter, you're just like, this guy tweeted like 3 things about you. Like, why the fuck are you going nuclear? And then they don't have like the full context of like everything else before. Oh yeah, shit. This was one. There was another one about Ludwig. How crazy are these kinds of interactions from Destiny's point of view? He spends a ton of time on stream doing research, definitely more than any other streamer that talks about the topic. Lonerbox has probably read more than me, to be fair. Someone links him a clip of the slime person in a giant podcast with Ludwig making fun of and downplaying the fact that Destiny does research. And then it's also annoying because like people will say, and even for each of these, there's like more and more and more things, right? So like one comment on its own is who cares, and it's like not that big of a deal. But it's the fact that it's not that he hold on, fuck. Wait, I don't think this guy has links actually. I might need to even go up and find links. It's not even just the fact that he made the comment. It's that he like goes crazy in his subreddit afterwards, like defending it at the bottom of this fucking subreddit, and then he makes a Twitter thread on me too. Like I think if he just made the comment, I'm like, okay, fuck, whatever. I don't care. It's just another one of like another in the deluge of like, you know, cum swallowing Ludwig dick rider people. Like I'm used to them making stupid comments about me. So the problem is they always try to inhabit like both positions, right? So you have this thing where you simultaneously act like you don't care about me that much, because I think I'd have to go and look for this, but I think at one point, I think that he says it on his Twitter. He says like, oh, so somebody made this like clip compilation in response to what he said, okay? Which is kind of, I mean, we can say what you want, but what he said was factually wrong.
This is like Destiny just reading about Israel-Palestine on Wikipedia and then hopping in. Destiny just reading about Israel-Palestine on Wikipedia.
Right? So it's like, I mean, somebody called you out on it. Like, if you don't really care that much, like, if his response would have just been like, who cares? Like I don't care about Destiny that much. Like, I just made a random comment because I heard about him reading Wikipedia. Like, I don't actually care that much. Then fine. Like, that's fair. Okay, whatever. I think it's annoying, but fine, whatever. You know, I'm sympathetic towards that. But like, he does care. He clearly cares, right? Because he's in the bottom of this thread arguing about me. And this is before, by the way, this is before I've said anything about this at all, okay? then what are you doing right now, Limfeo? Like, are you just mad that I made fun of Destiny? Chat, is that even more pathetic? Also, my friend, a real live Palestinian who I have housed and talked with for 7 years now has been explaining to me this issue from his real perspective since and continues to do so. And I take that much more seriously than some cuck who debates for a living. That's why I don't talk about it, because it requires so much more understanding of context than I'm willing to explain on our comedy podcast. But I'll take a cheap shot at someone I hate any day. Stay mad. I will also never think about you again. This is before I've said anything about this guy at all, right? I haven't said a single thing about this guy. These are just posts that he's making, fighting with people in their own subreddit, you know? I'm fine with it. I'm not a lobbyist or a cuck debate streamer. Also seems to be echoed by a few other Jewish people I know that have visited Israel in the past, and this particular moment has them not with the Zionist plan either. In fact, I don't even go on social media about this or make it my personality or do what you guys call virtue signaling, blah, 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 right? So there's and you can go through he posts there's so much that he posts here. And then he makes this whole ass thread in response to this video clip, right? He makes this whole ass thread where it's I've made some people very grumpy again. To be honest, I'm surprised DJers even watch our show. Maybe we really are just that funny. Tear bleeding face. I don't know what this is. I also had it out with a few of the strays in the weekly episode thread, and one of them was actually really reasonable and normal comments and stuff. Not even necessarily all stuff I agree with, but that was normal about it, and I was like, man, what a time to be alive. Anyways, I'm not a debate streamer, and thank fucking Christ for that. I also have always felt people trying to win an internet argument on my behalf makes me uncomfortable, but if this is your actual job for a living, you kind of have to accept guys who put QR codes in their fan cams. To think all things considered, I've kept my thoughts on Palestine pretty close to the chest because it's oddly a more personal issue for me, considering my friend that has talked about it, or has talked to me about it for the past 7 years or so, namely Free Palestine RN. But make no mistake, I will always take a chance to fire a pithy line at Destiny because it is, above all, as evidenced here and now, many other times, really, really funny. Google it, right? So it's just okay, whatever. But anyway, so someone links a clip of the slime person in a giant podcast with Ludwig, making fun of him and downplaying the fact that Destiny does research. Destiny, up until now, has only had positive interactions with this guy, although I'm not sure if he remembers. Apparently, I talked to this guy once on a Raw show. I don't remember, but whatever. Destiny has no reaction to the clip, doesn't attack him back, doesn't reply, just moves on. I think we just watched this on stream. I don't know. Did I even say anything? I think I was just whatever. Yeah.
This is like Destiny just reading about Israel Palestine on Wikipedia and then hopping in.
Yeah,
except he read the Wikipedia page wrong. He mixed up two sections, and now he's making 20-minute mogul mails.
Dude, you hear Drake's up against Palestine? That can't be good.
I started off my whole video and I said, hey, to people who listen to more video game music than real music, this is for you. And you're also probably white. And then I went into it.
You stole all that from Twitter, by the way.
No.
Have an original thought.
This was me. I said, I've done this. This is
because everyone's into it and he only likes things that are popular because he's a fuck.
That's mens rea. Paraphrase Destiny's claims from a couple separate points. Very much turns to police action as such. Someone in DGG makes a video to show that he does research. Slime writes a thread on Twitter where he keeps attacking Destiny. Oh, and then he doesn't even. I don't even think I knew at this point that he'd been writing about me in the subreddit. Destiny answers with the equivalent of, "It's not that deep, bro." I think my actual tweet was something along the lines of, "Did this need a whole ass thread?" Yeah, so he makes this whole ass thread on this. And then I think I said, LOL, did this really need a whole ass tweet thread? And then obviously we start getting pictures like this. Sorry, I should have just posted this. And it's okay. So it's just and it's so cringe. And it's annoying because obviously Ludwig can say oh, well, I have nothing to do with any of this, blah, blah, blah. But he greenlights these types of attacks on me all the time. People have said weird shit. There's another thread on that where he's said weird shit about me on his fucking Whitecast.
Slime even reach out to me. He does it sometimes. He reached out. He was like, sorry, Dubbin, if I got you in heat. And I replied, I don't care, man. I think it's fine. Destiny, quote retweets him and says, did you really need a whole ass tweet thread? And then Slime said, sorry, should have just posted this, which is crazy. The typical Slime. I don't even know if I can show this on stream. I am. We are here. If someone at YouTube gets mad at me, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm a journalist reporting the facts.
Yeah, but it's just these types of things. It's so fucking annoying. Jesus, it's annoying because because if you say anything about any of these people, obviously, oh wait, is this the Palestinian friend that he was talking about? Free Palestine RN. If there's any time to show that your solidarity means something, it would be in a time like this. If you put people in a perpetual prison and treat them as subhuman, do not be surprised when they resist. Free Palestine. Oh, October 7th. Oh, cool. Is the slime ball guy part of the Smash community? So he supports Israelis and kids. Nice. Yeah, the October 7th check never fails on people that call themselves Palestinian. Yeah, sorry. This is all in service of explaining that one point. It's a lot, but Destiny's actions are reasonable considering the history Ludwig has of sneak dissing him. All the people saying Destiny's going too far must be new. Ludwig has always been taking pot shots at Destiny and trying to undermine him and spread weird rumors about him. Firstly, there was the thing, this thing.
Oh boy, more Ludwig commentary.
And while main stage is going on with all these Smash events, a couple of streamers are there by the name of Destiny and Melina. They are at a Smash event doing IRL speed dating. They're not affiliated with the event in any way. I think they just booked a part of the venue to do speed dating. And the only reason I know this is because they have like 2 goons roaming around trying to sign Smashers up to do speed dating. And then went up to my friend Bunt and they're like, you want to do speed dating? He's like, no, I have a girlfriend. And they're like, this is with Destiny, the streamer. You could f his girlfriend. And he's like, yeah,
Christ.
no one cares. It's so weird.
I don't think any of this actually happened. I know that Cutebot went with Melina to film they were doing content for whatever Cutebot's normal content was, which I guess you could call it speed dating, but I'm pretty sure 80% of the story is made the fuck up because I couldn't find any origination for it. Somebody told me that it was actually the slimeball guy that told him this story. I don't know if that's true. Oh, and also, yeah, I wasn't even at this event at the time, by the way. I didn't even go to this. So the fact that he says I was there is like, what are you even talking about? Yeah. But
it's so weird. But all right, hey, content's content. You know what I mean? Anything for the sweet, sweet touch of content.
Okay. I mean,
Oh boy.
making weird jokes about him with his friends around live on stream. I don't even know.
I always wondered how many views you'd get if you were ugly, but then I watched Destiny stream.
To be fair, I mean, this is a roast, so. Well, I don't know why you would roast somebody who's not there, but making weird jokes about painting Destiny to be a fake, unrepentant, evil streamer. I haven't watched these in a long time. Hold on.
Keep watching 30 more
Literally,
seconds.
someone tried to show up to Amaranth's house and burn her house down. Arson. This is a real thing that happened. Yeah, she gets swatted all the time, and then someone went to her house and tried to burn it the fuck down because she basically had kind of worked out the swatting thing, so they took it to the next level. XQC left his home because he also was getting a bunch of weird people who were trying to f with him in real life and go to his house. All these things are real problems that happen to streamers. So I think it's wild that Destiny, even for a joke, would have posted that and popularized that story. And
He says that I popularized the story of Hasan buying his $3 million mansion. I love that Hasan is checking in here on him too. He probably just came back from washing his hand from having his whole fist up Ludwig's asshole to fucking play the marionette or whatever while he danced for him on stream. And he's sitting here making sure that his little good boy is doing a good job reading the script.
And then take zero credit and say, I don't even care, dude. That's wildly shitty. But I think it's all in the name of, I don't know, rivalry, content.
Yeah.
Implying that I doxed him. Oh my God. Spreading the same old DGG's brigading rumors.
I would never tell you guys to brigade a Reddit. I would just tell you to do what Destiny's community would, which seems to be okay. So why is it all of a sudden a problem?
And it's funny too because he's friends with the biggest brigader on the entire fucking internet, which we all see his son do constantly. But whatever. Although Destiny's tried to be relatively kind of quiet and avoid Cutie Cinderella and Ludwig, they've hated him since he stopped Casey Tron trying to ruin the career of Bob.
I cannot tell you.
The incident is just blah blah blah. Here's Destiny talking about the beast. Oh, anyway, yeah.
And I see that he said this. Wish assassinations were a real thing. This isn't a quote retweet to people in this situation. Not trying to say who. I'm not trying to get demonetized here. But what a fucking crazy thing for Mr. Penis Head to say. And then I scrolled up in our DMs and I found out that this dude was my viewer 5 years ago. Hey man, love your streams. They help me out a lot when I border sad. When I have disposable income one day, I'll give you a few shekels a month. Dude, what the f are we doing, man? I feel like a crazy person. But when I see all this division, I feel like they're
This tweet was even before the video, if I recall. Oh, was the tweet date before the video?
not humans. I feel like most
I know that initially he tried to blame this on being a DGGer. There was a Destiny fan threat, and he thought that all of it was. I just looked into it, and this proves it. The original February 26th Hasan stream, where Hasan reacts and complains about Ludwig video. At this point, Ludwig's video is 10 minutes old. This is the original stream that started the drama. I think this is the one we already watched.
real quick.
Chris came to TurboTax.
Here's Hasan earlier on the same stream looking at his own tweet, which is dated February 26th, so we're not relying on Twitch's timestamps alone for VODs. Ludwig's bookmark of the death threat is dated 1:16 p.m., February 25th, 2024. Twitter timestamp UTC is the 25th, and LA time is the 25th, which is always the day before Hasan's 26th stream. So while this technically could be a Destiny fan still, it basically disproves the fact that this tweet had anything to do with Ludwig's Hasan sneak diss video drama. This also proves Ludwig to be an unreliable narrator because he claimed that this tweet was because of the diss in the video and all of the drama about taking down the video, but these are both impossible. He also claimed multiple death threats in an older video, but the only one he has shown has been disproven. If it was actually a Destiny fan, wouldn't they do the death threat after Ludwig has taken down the video with the Hasan diss because they're angry about him placating himself? And apparently Ludwig re-uploaded the video and then deleted that accusation. Or I don't think you have to re-upload actually on YouTube now. He just deleted that part of the video. Ludwig is like such a decently cool person, other than the fact that he's such a spineless fuck and carries so much water. It's especially frustrating because Ludwig knows better. I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most about this. Ludwig is a large content creator. I'm pretty sure he's like a larger content creator than me. I'm pretty sure he has a ton of different platforms and like he's got a ton of reach. He knows how irresponsible and stupid it is to take one DM and pretend that it is exemplary or exemplifies an entire fan's fan base or an entire streamer's fan base. Like, what a stupid comment to make. You know better than this. You know that you would never stand for anybody doing this, that if I were to go up to you or if anybody else were to make a comment like, oh wow, Ludwig's fans think this because one guy DM me and he follows Ludwig on Twitter, which by the way, I don't think this guy followed me or Hasan or maybe not even Ludwig on Twitter, right? You know how stupid it is to make this type of generalization, but he does it anyway to defend his friend Hasan? How weak. What a spineless thing to do. Or it was just literally Hasan wrote the script for him to do here and he read this alongside the advertiser script. In his video, Ludwig claims that a person who messaged him after he deleted his recent video is making death threats towards two people in this situation on Twitter. He shows that the same person sent him a positive message 5 years ago, but has since then allegedly been radicalized by Destiny, is making death threats on Destiny's behalf. Don't go scorched earth? This is like the second or third time Ludwig has done this towards me. But anyway, all of this to say is that like when I start like fighting with somebody online, it's not usually somebody will see me go unhinged and they'll be like, oh, like why are you attacking those guys? Like this guy's a history of like making weird, creepy, stupid comments. And then keep in mind too that with every single one of these comments, there's like it's all the other deluge of like retarded lefty dipshits that are also joining in. So for every single one of these points, you've got Hasan watching and reacting, and then his fans sending me death threats. You've got Denim's watching and reacting if she's not too busy watching TV shows. You've got Mike from PA watching and reacting as he's chowing down so that he can gain another 5 pounds, so that he can be large enough finally to Casey Tron. You've got Casey Tron trying to watch, seeing through the haze of bong smoke in her apartment and reacting as she chows down another 5 pounds so that Mike can never weigh enough to her. It's just like every single one of these things is just so much. Oh God, it's so annoying. Do you think that Hasan can't stop crying about you even offline when hanging out with these people? Oh, yes. Oh, I guess I can say that now because both. Melina, in between talking to me about Will and showing me his dick pictures on her phone when they weren't trying to hook up behind his girlfriend's back, Melina would tell me that Will would tell her that Hasan religiously follows my shit. So I guess I kind of lied about that publicly when I'm like, do these people actually watch me that much? They do. Hasan obsessively follows a lot of my shit. And I knew that because Will told that to Melina, which I thought was funny as fuck. So it's irritating that any type of insult is greenlit towards me. Okay. There is a bad faith summary or explanation of anything I believe or do, believe in or do. 1, 2. Generally excluded from all of these places, either explicitly or implicitly. I think the things that are driving me the craziest, it has to do with the concept of like the cry bullying. So I don't like that when I fight with people, all forms of insults are like okay for me. So whether it's making fun of personal stuff, whether it's making fun of my sexuality, whether it's making fun of my being racist, like all of these are okay, which is fine for me, but not when I can't do anything in return. That f***s my head up way too much. I would much rather fight with Nazis who will call me racial slurs that I can go hard against than fight with crybullies who, if you say anything, it just is, this is too much. The crybullying is way too much. for the bad faith summary or explanation of anything I believe in or do, I don't really care as much about that. Like, people are always going to do it. What I don't like is that the people that do this are people that shouldn't even have an opinion of me. And it's people that are retarded. That drives me crazy. So the f***ing slime dude, the dude whose dad crack OD'd in front of him or whatever, that guy, he doesn't know anything about anything that I do, anything that I talk about. I don't need him to say anything good about me. I don't care. But he shouldn't have an opinion about me. And he shouldn't be talking about me. That just drives me crazy in conjunction with all these other things, right? That it drives me crazy when retards try to summarize or talk about anything that I do and then give this like huge audiences, and then it gets greenlit by everybody else. Obviously, I'm hardcore. Oh, and it's always done just for like clout too. Like, it's not like these people have like any measured position here or like feel very strongly about this. It's always like, well, you know, I have to do this because this is like the popular Zoomer take. Like, this is what we have to say. It's just annoying. Obviously, I'm hardcore. I'm banned from Twitch, and I'm never getting invited on any of these shows, which is on its own is whatever. But obviously, I have no chance to correct the record or fight against any of the obviously stupid things they're saying. And then my community being way too accountable of me, like, makes me want to kill myself. I've got like a whole community of people that are, you know, call me cucks, fat, send me death threats, send me whatever, make fun of 50 million different things. And then I post a picture of Ludwig's autistic girlfriend crying on stream for attention because she can't raise money for her stupid shows anymore. And then it's like, oh my God, this is too far. Like, bro, these people, like, Ludwig has greenlit so much retarded shit against me. Like, he is such an invertebrate, like, spineless it drives me insane. I have to treat him with kids gloves while he like green lights like every type of like thing against me. I can't. There's too many different factors here that are, I can't have all of these. So I have to figure out, so I have to change something. The first one is just dropping all pretense on how I deal with people. So I green light everything. Like, okay, well, if we're gonna make fun of this, if you're gonna come at me, then we'll go after everything. I don't give a fuck anymore. Obviously there are pros and cons to that. Can you give us some examples of the Ludwig stuff? It's hard to push back on him when it's so sneaky. It would be nice to lay it all out with a manifesto. It's not worth it because he's such a cowardly like, he just kind of like will float in between all of it. Stuff for Ludwig. I mean, like, what is it? Like, he had a really weird slanted telling of a story where he was trying to pretend that like Melina was like walking, or Cutebot or her friends were walking around trying to find people to my girlfriend at some event, at some file event that he was hosting or giving commentary to, some Smash Kids event. Which was not true. The way that he framed it was obviously not true. He blamed me for doxing Hasan in between slurping loads out of his nutsack. He was on stream saying that I was the one that initially spread his dox, even though I was talking about a story that had already been published like 3 days prior. He blamed me for that. He took down a story because Hasan said that he was going to stop his ass if he actually left up a video where he made like a 2-second clip where he joked about something that Hasan had said about the streamer privilege thing.
You should call Hasan and apologize. Why is Hasan mad?
Fucking fan.
What'd I do? Because I'm a mogul male? I feel like everything I said was fine. Am I crazy?
And Hasan was so unbelievably sensitive, more sensitive than the head of his cock after Ludwig spent 2 hours polishing it with his tongue, okay? He was so sensitive that Ludwig deleted that whole video, lied about why he deleted the video, and then reposted a new video where he blamed my entire community for harassment because of one random DM he got from a guy on Twitter who had nothing to do with me. He's like the most cowardly, subhuman, like spineless fuck. And I've like tried to, sometimes I think I've expressed frustration, probably mainly. Oftentimes I try to like high road it because it's like, whatever. This is all true, but what does Cutie have to do with this? Cutie's also a cuck. She sided with Casey Trent. She like has harassed the out of me in the past a ton. Like, we were like kind of okay, but like also I just don't give a fuck. If you associate with somebody like that, fuck you. I don't care anymore. Making a weird comment about me in the show, which was honestly whatever. You want to make your throwaway fucking comments, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. For him to make the throwaway comment and then go into Reddit and like, oh, I've got a friend who's in Palestine and Destiny's a piece of shit, and then go into Twitter and make another thread. It's like, bro, you're making so many fucking threads about me. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's just so irritating. And then obviously like Ludwig is co-signing all of these attacks, right? Because it's like within the contract for Hasan that he only gets so much access to his I guess based on how many attacks against me he lets slide on his show or his Twitter or whatever. Did you see Ludwig explain the vibes thing? Yeah, I don't know. Every person I've met in real life, I've had a pretty good interaction with. I'm not a very rude person ever, but everybody likes to make shit up, I guess. I mean, I shouldn't necessarily blame Ludwig. Like, he might just be reading scripts that Hasan sends him. Like, would you blame an actor for, what the writer is telling them to perform on screen? I don't know. Maybe it's not actually Ludwig's fault. Maybe I should be blaming Hasan for sending him. He needs a shout out. Your rage. Yeah, actually, he seems relatively measured. Yeah. For the most part. I don't really care if people don't like me. Yeah, but it's just it's the lying, and then it's the crybullying, the going as hard as you want, and then I can't counter with anything without my community swing the fuck out. Did you see Pokemon liking Ludwig's tweets? Yeah, female Ludwig would like Ludwig's tweets. That's not surprising at all. She also has to keep her caught up with whatever community she needs to be a part of. But I don't. I mean, why the fuck? What do I need? Is the Poke Bridge burned? I don't know. I'm so bored of the I don't even know what you would call them. The mainstream safe opinion crowd. It's like the influencer crowd who always has to have the public safe, the PR safe opinion on everything. Normally I wouldn't care, but then I end up getting thrown under the bus by a bunch of people that are functionally retarded. And it's just, yeah, it's irritating as fuck to me. Ludwig is pro-Palestine. Is that a safe opinion? Ludwig is not pro-Palestine. Ludwig doesn't know anything about Palestine. Ludwig doesn't know anything about anything outside of, smashing kids or whatever the fuck they do in the Super Smash Melee community or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck he does. I have no fucking idea. Nobody, 99% of the influencers you see online are not pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. They're pro whatever the Zoomer safe opinion to give now is. That's it. It's just, ordinarily I wouldn't care, but when people have such strong opinions about it, and then start to attack other people, why are you attacking me over the history of a country that you literally know nothing about? You don't know anything about this, and you haven't done any homework, and you don't why such a strong opinion? Yeah, it's just, that's irritating. Why not just focus on homelessness? Okay, let's have streamers against homelessness. Okay, that'd be great. Okay, Jesus. Destiny, agree on 90%, but on your point to the sole association with bad actors, making yourself a bad actor in your eyes, do you hold everyone to such a high standard? No, you fucking retard. Yeah, no, I'm not, man. This is my fault. It's the level of charitability that I've treated these guys with as well is also yeah. It's mind you guys too, because you're oh, well, aren't these guys really good except for this one thing or blah, blah, blah. It's no, these people are trash people. They engage in so much retarded shit. And then it's well, it's a sole association with this person when they have it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's just annoying. It's what kick streamers do to you, and Trainwreck's co-signing it and say nothing on his podcast. I don't even care as much about that. W. Aiden, screaming at me, that I'm a 50 times, because I can say, I think I can say almost anything to Aiden. Do they freak the out? I don't remember his community. I just don't like crybullies. That crybullying is my most irritated thing. If you want to be a Nazi or whatever, then hey, go for it, go hard. But when you start, oh, they did over the Islam shit. Oh, true, because Muslims are snowflakes online as well. I just can't handle the crybullying shit. That is true. He did crybully. Never mind. Yeah, Aiden. God, it drives me crazy how soy everybody is. I like you're focusing more on how these people know nothing about what they're talking about. I think you should take that angle more often, even when talking about Hasan, as he knows nothing. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. So it's not even worth. It's not worth saying it. Yeah. What is your actual opinion on AI porn of celebs and influencers? I think it's unethical to masturbate to AI porn unless you know that the person is bothered by it. If you know the person's bothered by it, then you should every single load should be dedicated to. The predominant insult that people usually use against me is that I'm pre-made up my opinion and that I read Wikipedia all the time, despite the fact that I know more about, at the very least, this conflict than literally all of these clueless fucking retards. What is? I don't understand what you think would change about. Yeah, it's not like the attacks against me are rooted in any type of factual foundation. Oh yeah, and the cuck shit. Despite the fact that Hasan's only the longest relationship he's ever had, besides the celeb ones that he tries to keep secret, was with who the porn star, Janice Jackson, the one that he called the cops on to do a wellness check, after telling everybody else not to call the cops. The only person in that circle I've seen defend you is Moy. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if people defend me. I just want people to talk about me. Griffith, not Jackson? I don't know, whatever the fuck. Oh, yeah, because he Harris Jackson, right? I don't understand the beef. Wikipedia jokes are unsolid. No, I don't even care about that. It's that Hasan's like unhinged every single day. He's talking about me. He's wild with like all the crazy like personal insults like every day, and it doesn't matter. Having an entire full Discord full of people spamming racial slurs at me and then only changing when he gets called out like on stream live is like wild. Can you elaborate on the association with the progressive label? My feeling right now is that for progressive people, I think progressives are just people that accidentally stumbled onto Tumblr instead of 4chan. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I don't want to identify with the community anymore. I don't want anything to do with the community anymore. The progressive viewpoint is that all cops are bad because if any cops were good, they'd stop the bad ones. That applies 50-fold to progressives. And then you also see the, you can also see like the leanings on all the recent conflicts and everything. Like progressives are just unprincipled, like totalitarian monsters. But I've had that feeling for a while. I think I just hate all illiberal people. Like if you're illiberal, I don't want anything to do with you. So Nazis, far right authoritarians, the average Trump supporter, and then generally progressives, and then obviously like tanky socialist commies or whatever. I just have no, I don't think. It's not even that I don't want to be. So I don't want to lend them any credibility either. Like, oh, Destiny's a good progressive. No, I'm not a progressive. I'm a center left liberal. Progressives. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want them to get any credibility for me. I don't want to do anything with them. Like, yeah. Are you going to react to the progressive talking points, or is it fortress mode? No, I'll never fortress. I have no problem talking to other people. The well poisoning though, like in this community, the whole Twitch everything community is just so cancerous. My God. I was talking to somebody a while ago that posed an interesting thing to me that I'd never even considered before. Is that it's possible that I might get lost too much in trying to appeal so much to other crowds or people that I'm losing, or I've lost, or I don't make any attempt to appeal to somebody that might not be hardcore predisposed against me originally. That like basically all of my strategizing, all of my rhetorical skills, like everything goes into like, okay, well, this audience is primed against me for XYZ reason. Like, how do I communicate? And I essentially live in that zone. And that might not be a good thing. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll probably spend the next few days thinking on it. Are you ever worried that the bigger you become, the bigger your ego will get? How do you level yourself? I don't know. I'm pretty sure whatever built-in mechanisms I have seem to be working decently so far. I don't think it's like a worry that I've got. I think you can turn the subreddit into a manufacturing mill for disproving the narratives about you. The TikTok edit was reacted to by a bunch of streamers, and the goalpost is being shifted from Wikipedia. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I just have to go. It's actually, I guess, funnily enough, it reps into the Dr. K shit. I don't like soy posting about myself, and that attitude is reflected in my community, but it ends up becoming like unbearably toxic because one really irritating thing. One irritating thing that happens is that other communities don't seem to be very critical of their own content creators, as long as they're virtue signaling correctly. There's like very little factual criticism. So somebody says, like, let's say somebody makes up a lie about me, and then and their community sees it, like, it doesn't matter. If somebody points it out, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm like the enemy, they can say whatever they want. They've got carte blanche to make up, whatever shit, the kitty communities decide to say about me. And then when that comes to my community, so then you've got a lot of this external pressure that has no external fact checking, right? The communities don't audit themselves because there's no pressure or desire to. There's no reason to. Why the you don't? It's not like you're rewarded for being factually accurate or correct in these communities. So there's no fact checking or auditing there. And then those attacks come to my community. And then in my community, it's like there's a weird thing that happens where I think people overcorrect. I say weird, but it's probably modeled off of me. Like, generally everything I do speaks for itself. I don't usually feel the need to like be a hype man for myself. I don't need to do that. Like, I have like, if you, I know what I do. I know what I'm worth. I know everything about myself. I don't need to like hype me up. And then I think that attitude carries over to my community. So when people do hype me up, if they ever do, it's like a cringe, horrible thing. So like if somebody like goes onto Hasan's stream and like, oh, Hasan, like when you talked about this thing, it made me feel so good. Everybody in Hasan's chat is spamming like, feels good, man. Like, oh yeah, we like this. But then if it happens like on my stream, it's like, oh, what a glazing loser. Like you guys are already typing it. Yeah, glaze. And then people feel like when they criticize me, it's like, oh shit, like this is like, I'm about to make the bravest post in my life. Ordinarily, I support what Destiny does, but this particular thing was so horrible, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, yeah. And that's like the type of behavior. So I feel like my community gets rewarded for being highly critical, which is which would be okay if other communities were. But when every community is poised to attack me, and then my own community is poised to amplify criticism and then kind of reduce any good thing is like memeing it off as glazing, then you have like, it's just a very f***ing AIDS cancer dynamic that dynamic I think is unworkable, or at least mentally for me, unless I completely like unplug or disengage from. Real question, how can you tell when you're in the wrong versus when everyone else is overreacting, especially your own community? Depending on what you're talking about, whatever that process looks like, these situations are far easier to think. We're not in an area where it's like, is this like wrong or is this f***ed up? Like when I've got some dude spamming cuck jokes at me after writing like manifestos on how much of a horrible person I am because I'm pro-genocide or some shit, and the only time Ludwig decides to get involved is because somebody else brings him up and then I respond to it, no, f*** that shit. And then he's co-signed this dumb shit on me in the past. Nah, f*** that. It's fine. It's no, f*** that. And then the amount of charitability, then like my community, because generally that meme is used to be like, yo, why the fuck are you bringing me up, bro? And I'm aware of that, but it is also part of a cuck meme, and Ludwig has made these jokes in the past about me. So, but my community would be like, well, actually, Destiny, if we apply the optimal lens of charity and the idea that maybe he just didn't want to blah, 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 and it's like, okay. And then like, meanwhile, like the other communities are like, do you think that Destiny like 3 Palestinian miners in the today, or do you think he 5 of them before he tortured them and murdered them and then grilled their charred remains and ate it for breakfast? Like, what do you guys think? Like, that's like the other community. And then my community is like, yeah, so I think that when Ludwig said this, I think he was probably just misinformed. And when Destiny went off on him, I think that it was like a little bit too, I was like, yeah, I'm good on that. Perhaps the community tends to reflect the streamer. In your case, you tend to couch your opinions in a nuanced manner. The community tries to do the game. No, yeah, I understand. No, it is. I literally just said that. I don't know why people are repeating it back to me. Yeah, but I have to figure out if that's what I want. But I mean, like, I should. It's just hard. It's just hard to exist like with other worse communities. It's annoying. Twitter community is up to like 11K. Yeah, we'll probably do more shit on that.
Hello.
What were you at? 2 seconds. What is it?
Oh, I'm gonna need more than 2 seconds. I think this is a very serious issue we need to talk about.
What's the issue?
I think you lied to me.
About which thing?
Just about everything. I'm gonna send you a link to a video that I want you to react to on stream, and I want you to tell me, why did you lie?
Oh, listen, it's not what it looks like, okay? In actuality, as soon as the camera went off, I started beating the shit out of all of these animals, okay? But whoever was filming at the time didn't record it, but that's the part that you're missing here. I'll find the rest of the footage for you, okay?
I think you're lying. I think you pet a nice kitty. I think you also pet a chicken, and you respected them and treated them nice.
Only because they let me have sex with them. Fuck, my Discord's lagging. Okay. How can you better gauge the integrity of a potential relationship in the future with people that are building communities? Like, how do you plan for the long haul? I don't know. I'm never watching the Mudahar video on Keffels. I do not care. Please stop spamming this. One thing that clicked for me yesterday, actually, in a totally unrelated conversation with somebody else, is so I think one thing that I'm started to change how I view other people and their actions through is kind of like the incentive structures. I talked a lot about like the constellation of beliefs and how people believe in things just because there's a big social pressure to do so. And one of the things we used to say in the past is like, oh, well, how do you change somebody's mind? And it's like, well, the best thing you can do is to, be that person's friend and be close with them and work over time and blah, 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 blah. And I realized that old thought actually plugs in like really directly with the social reinforcement thing. You're just becoming like part of the social reinforcement. That's all that's actually happening there. I think that the only way to change certain things is you have to change the incentive structure. I truly think that's it. I think that like ordinarily, I think life is literally just Econ 101, where what's the first thing you learn? People respond predictably to economic incentives. You can buy the same product and one is cheaper than the other, all else equal, you're going to buy the cheaper product. And I think that something that's very irritating is that the incentive structure right now, since I'm not politically aligned with anybody on the internet, the incentive structure is aligned against me in a lot of ways, which ordinarily I don't think I care depending on where it comes from. But I think the hypocrisy and the crybullying is, I think, what's like mind fucking me the most. Like if the gripers in Hasan's community don't like me, they're not supposed to. I understand that, whatever. And then even if they lie about me, that's annoying, but whatever. But to see like the actual red brown alliance like come back to life is wild to me. I'm like, wait, Hasan has Nazi Twitter accounts on his stream right now to attack me, and then to see those opinions like pervading into normie spaces because every political issue has so much like social value behind it now. Like now you have like there's a lot of social credit attached to having a strong opinion relating to Israel Palestine is really 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 irritating. Destiny, this makes you immune to audience capture though, right? No, not necessarily. You could still fall prey to audience capture. You just won't necessarily be part of a big club. Usually when audience capture is happening, usually it's because you're trying to appeal to a big club as well. But you could theoretically still get audience captured by a by a nonpartisan audience. It's possible, right? How'd you feel about the Bridges podcast today? I thought it went really well. I'm glad that I think the audio video stuff is perfect now. Chris is super entertaining as a guest. Yeah. If you think people like Ludwig or Poke are bad, watch Caroline Kwan for 5 minutes, and you want to blow your brains nuts and shake your try. No, I've watched her talk before. People like her are probably like the strongest arguments that you can make in favor of like forcibly interning people. Like I see people like her speak, and I'm like, holy shit, this is why lefties want to do re-education camps. Like I fucking get it, right? You see people like her talking, and it's like, oh my god, these people are where the gulags came from. Like. Not because she'd start them, but because you want her in one. Like it totally makes, I totally 100% get it. To combine like that level of smugness with that level of, I guess like decaying white matter in your brain is like a combination it's the perfect sweet and sour, the perfect savory and spicy. Is that the opposite of savory? I don't fucking know. A method of attack on competing audience might be, rather than trying to get them to like you, to make them incentivized to listen to you, find something that you agree with and give the take better than them. The old Casey meme about you giving the answer and it doesn't matter. Most of these people never engage with anything I say or do. I have like, it's easy for me to, if I can talk to an audience, it's pretty easy for me to flip. It's pretty easy for me to have a good impression on that audience. That I can do pretty well. Or if somebody's never heard of me and they have a neutral impression of me, I think I'll generally always come off good, as long as I have the ability to participate in that discussion. Because I'm generally won't, unless I'm trying to be unhinged. Yeah, the irritation, I guess, is just like all the Twitch communities, and then the I guess like it's like the human centipede of like combinations of these people. It's so annoying. You should call out Hasan for dodging the Piers Morgan debate offer. I mean, why? It's like perfectly in line with what he does, right? He's a cowardly, wealthy capitalist who's grifting off the socialist shit while being racist and misogynistic in order to make the maximum amount of money possible so that he can move on to the next grift. Would you ever invite Ludwig to Bridges? No, stop. But he would never come anyway, so it doesn't matter. That needs to be horrible at that. For example, when you spoke to Asmongold about him voting for Trump, you were very mean and unfair. That was like 7 years ago, I think, right? Like I feel like I've done my approach has changed significantly. Did you see the Northern Lights last night? I'm in fucking... Could you see them in DC? Does the mainstreamer clique have a dislike towards streamers who don't want to associate with their group? Not that much. I'm just like on the wrong side of like a political opinion right now, so it's just annoying. But it's more annoying because I know that it's all like the Hasan dick sucking in the background. It's the most annoying thing, but... How can Hasan feel so strongly about Palestine yet he's not willing to have a conversation about it? Please call him out on it. What is it? What do you mean? I watch his shit. He's never going to respond to that. Like he'd rather obsess and talk about my ex's all day on stream or whatever, because he's too busy like scarfing down gallons of finasteride or whatever is rotting his mind to actually go out and get any of his own. So he has to think about my sex life or my past sex life, I guess. So you gave up on persuading Hasan and Ludwig's audience. I've never tried to persuade those audiences. I can't. They're way too mind captured by Hasan. Both of them are captured by Hasan. I don't think Ludwig has enough of a mind to capture anybody with it. I don't. But like I said, I also don't really care. I think the issue is just trying to it's just having that like their tendrils like grow out and like influence other communities around me is so weird and annoying. Like Dr. K's audience being primed against me is so f***ing weird, considering every conversation I've had with Dr. K has been beyond like respectful. Like we just have like, yeah, whatever conversations. The fact that like his audience is like unhinged about me just as a reflection of like all of the weird Hasan propaganda that Twitch facilitates is so bizarre to me. Or it's not bizarre, it's just irritating or annoying, I guess. Yeah. Their audience goes in other people's chats and shits on you. Yeah, because they do a lot from their Discord, the one that Hasan always says he's not in or has no control over. To be fair, the YouTube community is primed to hate Hasan. My YouTube community? If my YouTube community is primed to hate people, it's usually because people are doing stuff that I feel like I'm demonstrating is like pretty wrong. One thing that I do better than almost anybody else online, and it's irritating that nobody else can even fathom doing this, is I'll give people credit when they do something that I agree with. I feel like, yes, I guess I don't expect it in return, I guess, because it'll never happen. But then my audience is also conditioned so that I have to do that as well. Because then if I don't give somebody credit for something, then my audience like loses their shit. Meanwhile, other communities are unhinged. It's kind of cool that Dr. K doesn't appear to be influenced by some of those extreme factors of this audience. I think Dr. K seems to be a pretty strong like individual. Like he doesn't necessarily bow to whatever the public opinions are on whatever thing. But he's also like kind of isolated from that career-wise as well. It's not like he doesn't need to give an opinion on Israel-Palestine as like a therapy or life coach or mental health talking person. I don't know what you would call his role, but yeah. What's the main reason why the WL community hates Hasan? Didn't Hasan fight with some WL people? I don't remember. The WL community is kind of like their own thing, though. How much of a representation do they have on Twitch right now? I'm not actually sure. You said you wanted to become more aligned with Praxi or solution generating a few months back instead of just being a deconstructionist. Is that still true? Maybe. I'm not as sure anymore. We'll see after this election. I don't actually know right now. Yeah, I don't know. I think right now my big interests are like studying and debate. Debate, obviously, I could do really well. Studying, I'm able to do really well. And in terms of like the real life political shit, I'm not. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like it's too thankless at the moment, and it's a huge investment of time. It's a huge investment of money. It's a huge investment of community goodwill. And I get almost nothing in return. And then the participation from other people is like lackluster at best. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But like I said, I'm probably going to spend the next like 2 or 3 days, bouncing ideas around in my brain. We'll find out. Do you never feel like you do the web thing, but with social groups? Like you web the opinions of people like Ludwig, Slime, QTC on you to their friendship with Hasan, whereas it feels like we can point to a series of direct interactions you've had that would equivalently achieve the distaste? No, everything originated from other people. Slime, I still don't know who that is, other than like Ludwig's like 4th generic white friend. I have no idea who the Slime guy actually is. For Ludwig has I don't think Ludwig has any reason to not like me ever. We've fought a little bit in the past, but it's usually after he makes like an unhinged, out of pocket, like wild claim about me. But I know where the claims come from. They're all Hasan talking points. And then Cutie Cinderella and I started to not get along a ton when she would side with Caseytron. For some reason, there are a lot of women that have this problem. You call it being a girl's girl, but the more literal translation is basically any time you have to evaluate the actions of a person. If that person is also a woman, your IQ drops like 25 points. So if you take somebody like Cutie Cinderella, who's ordinarily probably like an 85 IQ individual, and then she has to evaluate something relating to another woman, it drops to 70 or lower. And then all of a sudden, it's just like the most retarded shit you've ever seen in your entire life. And everybody does this online. Like a girl will come out and say some shit, and it's like, yesterday was so traumatic for me. I had to slice my boyfriend's off and I tortured him and I was crying so much the entire time. I was murdering him because it was so hard because 10 years ago I think he slapped my ass before we were dating. And it's like, oh, liked by Pokemon, liked by like every single girl streamer, because it's an annoying phenomenon. But it happened when they all attacked Asmongold and Gistigal as well. Yeah. What do you think about the idea that you fell off as a rhetorician over the past 5 years? I don't I don't know what like when people say things to attack me, like if it's clearly not true. I don't know if you understand. All you're doing is like making me feel better. Like those are the few, like when people come in is like, oh, this guy's like falling off. Like every single year as my career and my income and my influence continue to grow and grow and grow. And it's like, do you think that like if for an insult to work, there has to be like at least like some element of truth to it. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, I feel really bad as I've had probably more mainstreamish conversations this year than I probably have in the last like 5 years of my career combined. Yes, I'm definitely feeling the effects of my failing rhetoric and everything, for sure, dude. Is there even any political streamer ever that's had close to the same amount of mainstream appearances as Destiny? Probably. We just don't interact with them as much. Like David Pacman has probably talked to more people mainstream, I would imagine. The Young Turks probably have, right? I'm sure there are other people that we just don't interact with. Like there's whole like podcasts out there, like Pod Save American shit. Like you've got this whole other like apparatus of stuff out there that we don't interact with at all. So it's harder to see it, yeah. You should focus on having more positive interactions with other people and on your subreddit. Yeah, probably. No, that is the way to go. That's just, it's really hard. That's really hard to do. But that's probably what I'm going to spend the next like 2 to 4 days thinking about. I think I'll figure out how I want to orient myself. Why does it bother you now? Is it cumulative or something put you over the edge? This happens every year. I think I get like too irritated dealing with retards, and then I break for a day or two, and then I come back. We'll figure it out. I'll be on my way back. The particular conflict, the Israel-Palestine stuff, though, definitely brain broke me. I don't know what the thing we'll get into next after this is, but if it's anything like this, man, I might become an anti-college person. I don't think there will ever be a moment in my life as shocking as that Finkelstein debate, except for maybe the reaction to it. Those two events, I think, will be forever unfathomable in my mind. That I could spend 6 months like reading on some shit, not even as well structured or as organized as I could, and like outside of any structured learning environment, and then sit across the table from some fucking retard that's been studying it for 4 decades, and he has nothing to say to me. And the only point of substance he wants to argue with me on, the mens rea shit, not only was he wrong on that, like I'm lucky that like the ex-president of the ICJ actually came out.
Would it be fair to say, and I'm no lawyer, and many people watching and listening will not be lawyers, but would it be fair to say that the key point that you made your initial order and ruling upon was whether or not there was a plausible case that should be taken on by the court of genocide in the case of Israel's actions in Gaza after October 7, and you quite clearly decided that there was a plausible case. Is it right to say that's at the heart of what you decided?
You know, I'm glad I have a chance to address that, because the court's test for deciding whether to impose measures uses the idea of plausibility, but the test is the plausibility of the rights that are asserted by the applicant, in this case, South Africa. So the court decided that the Palestinians had a plausible right to be protected from genocide, and that South Africa had the right to present that claim in the court. It then looked at the facts as well, but it did not decide, and this is something where I'm correcting what's often said in the media, it didn't decide that the claim of genocide was plausible. It did emphasize in the order that there was a risk of irreparable harm to the Palestinian right to be protected from genocide. But the shorthand that often appears, which is that there's a plausible case of genocide, isn't what the court decided.
And even further clarify those genocide statements. Like, yeah, Jesus, that's like unbelievable to me. That everything relating to and revolving around that conflict, holy shit. I thought vaccines and coronavirus were bad. My fucking God. I think we should temporarily ban Hasan posting on the subreddit as an experiment to see if the other community is willing to disengage with you and stop spreading lies. No, because it's easy. You have to think of where the incentives are. Sometimes banning commentary about people. Let's see. I understand all of this. I've been in these communities, swimming through them long enough to know like how it works. The reason why banning comments about people works is because what'll happen is, this is a really common interaction online. One community or one person will say something, and then this thing will get reported in another community, and then they'll say something, and then it gets reported over here, and then you end up in this like really nasty back and forth where like groups of people can end up going back and forth about each other forever, right? And the social reinforcement here is the idea that like, oh my God, he said this and it got posted here, we saw it, and now we're reacting to this, and then the reaction of this is causing us to do this action, right? The problem with the Hasan stuff, though, is Hasan is not getting things to react from me about people posting about him in my community. He's the social validation and credit he's getting is from me participating in certain political conversations. It's the fact that like Destiny is pro-genocide or Destiny is blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. Like that's where a lot of the incentive structure for him to react to me comes from. Is the mass unban still coming? Maybe. It should be within a few days, or else Forethought is fired. I don't know why. He told me he had this figured out like a week or two ago, but maybe I'll just figure out how to do that as well. What do you think about Hasan posting that implicated assassination tweet, and should he be banned on Twitch for it? Listen, there are no wrong targets, or there are no wrong strategies, only wrong targets, right? Or wrong tactics, something like that. That's what illiberal people do. Is this your Vosh style fortress arc? No, I'm not fortressing. I'm never making penetrations into these communities anyway, so. I think people just remember you for more negative and breaking down stuff than positive stuff, so maybe they're primed to hate you. More positive interactions, like with Dr. Kane, XQC seems like a good way. You also need people who signal boost you like these people. Yeah, maybe, but the issue is that they can't do it too much because the social reaction to them might be really negative. But also, most of the reaction at this point to me is like, I don't want to say, no, I will say, it's basically fabricated. It's stuff that like other people, like, people will write like, oh, Destiny, when you do this, this is why people don't like you. And then I'll look at Hasan's stream and he's watching like a 5-minute TikTok compilation of like 100 statements I've made over the past like 7 months with like 3 words cut from each thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Incentives for clipping should be a thing. Every response tweet about you clearing up lies gets $20 PayPal. Yeah, I don't have the money for that one, Chief. I'm a bit behind the VOD, but there's a lot of clips of Asmongold. He seems like he likes you. Yeah, Asmongold is pretty chill. But I think his community mainly likes me when it's like fighting with lefties or like on freedom of speech stuff. I don't know how politically aligned they'd be. But Asmongold himself is like pretty chill. But he's also like pretty independent. Like he doesn't like swim with any big communities either. Same thing with XQC, I think. Like those two people. So it's nice that they're generally pretty fair, but it doesn't benefit me much. It's not like it doesn't help me with anything else. Like those communities are pretty unique to themselves, yeah. I think there are more people like NM or Nick, basically, in the OTK community that like you but are afraid to speak up because of social pressure. Possibly, but I don't know. You're going on Piers Morgan anytime again soon? Maybe, we'll see. Whenever they ask me, I usually show up. Finkelstein's disagreement with Benny Morris was even horrible, though, because he just misquoted the man's book at him and asked what he meant by the words Finkelstein made up. No, I know, yeah. The fact that some people saw that and thought that it was like good disagreement. Like, remember when Finkelstein owned Benny Morris by doing the 1-sentence quote from his book? And it's like, why would you ever do this? Yeah, Jesus. Do you remember meeting with Ludwig back in 2017? No, but I also don't remember meeting a lot of people. It's irritating because when they present you these stories, and I feel like when I present these stories, I'm usually like pretty, because I'm aware of the spaces. Like unless you can find an example of me not doing this, usually if I say something like, oh yeah, like I ran into this person, they didn't talk with me much, but they were probably busy. Like I'm usually being pretty charitable towards the other person. If you're running into people at events, at like cons or whatever, it's usually like people are going between a lot of events, people are going from place to place, people are talking to a lot of people don't know, do know, like that's usually it. So it's weird that like when somebody meets me, or if you meet somebody to be like, oh, this person was really rude. Like, what do you mean? They were probably going to something else. Like you would just never say that about another person unless you're getting like social credit for it. Destiny, but the vibes were off though. The only vibe that might be off is the vibrator that Hasan has implanted, right next to Ludwig's prostate at times, maybe because the batteries are running out, but I'm sure he digs in there every Saturday to replace them. He's mad you rejected the cheese ball. Yeah, I don't know what the cheese ball meme means. Do you even try to break through to these communities? From watching you for a while, you usually just brush things off. It's not worth my time. Well, what do you mean? There is no breaking into these communities. I'm banned from Twitch, and obviously none of them would ever talk to me. So, yeah. Why Ludwig dislikes Destiny? Didn't want to play cheese ball. Wait, okay. What? I didn't actually watch this. What is this about? Does this not?
I've only ever, and this is real, I've only ever hung out with Destiny one time in this world. I only ever hung out with him one time. And it was a terrible first impression. I doubt he would even know about it. But it was at like TwitchCon 2017 or some shit. 2017. I had maybe 100 viewers. The only reason I was there was to hang out with Cutie. This is when we first started talking.
Where was the first TwitchCon at? First TwitchCon. This is the one that Soda and Rekful went to, right? Haven't we been over this? Have we? I don't remember. TwitchCon 2017. I need to see something to like. What am I thinking of? To jig my mind? What's the word I'm looking for? Jog my mind. To jog my memory. I don't remember this event at all. Yeah, this was the smoking weed in Cutie's place. And the window, or the upstairs roof like window thing getting broken. I remember that. I think if this was 2017. I'm just assuming it is. I don't even know. I don't remember at all. I don't remember.
And he showed up to the house that I was staying in. I think because he was hooking up with a girl there. I don't know. I don't need to out her name.
What is he even talking about? Was this 2017? He told this story during the CuteBot thing on the yard like 2 years ago and said this interaction was fine. The negative interactions since have achieved retroactive vibe harshing. Destiny, it's probably V. I don't even know if V was staying at that house. Was she? She might have been. But there was like plenty. There are tons of people in this house. I'm not going there to fuck or hook up with anybody. In 2017, was I dating Aaron? I think I was dating Aaron at that point. Did I even know V in 2017? Wait a second. In 2017? It must not have been, it couldn't have been 2017. It must have been like 2019 or 2019? Because I feel like that's when I met V, right? But anyway, okay.
Yeah, with Cutie. This is when we first started talking. And
do you even care? It's a minor detail. I care because if this is the event that I'm thinking of, I showed up at this house when there were only like 4 or 5 of us on the roof, and we just went to smoke. That was it. So it was 4 or 5 of us upstairs smoking, and then another party broke. And after that party broke, everybody started coming to this house. And I was like, oof, like there's like 100 people here now. And then I wanted to like leave. I was like, fuck this. And so I just left. But there was like 100 people there. I don't even know if I saw him here, but like, I was just like upstairs on the roof. I'm pretty sure there's a Twitter video somewhere of me that Zerko's taking me like stoned as fuck on a couch. If this is the same event that I'm thinking of, but
showed up to the house that I was staying in. I think because he was hooking up with a girl there. I don't know. I don't need to out her name. And he walked in and he kind of did a once over on the room. I guess there weren't enough people that he was into or fucking thought were cool enough or clouded. I don't know what.
Or maybe I'm looking for somebody. What a weird fucking... You're such a clout shark. Like, I can't even believe that this guy, who probably, his mouth probably smells like shit from all the fucking brown nosing and rim licking he does, is accusing me of going into a party looking for clout. I've never seen such an obvious projection of fucking rectum tongue digging behavior in my entire fucking life. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my God.
I guess there weren't enough people that he was into or fucking thought were cool enough or clouded. I don't know what. And he left within 5 minutes. Which is crazy because I remember that day my vibes were immaculate. I got everybody in the room to play this game. We had a bunch of, you know that giant thing of cheese balls? We're at TwitchCon. I remember this. We had this giant thing of cheese balls. I had a fucking circle of like 10 people around me. And we were trying to throw the cheese ball into every person's mouth in a row. And if we failed, we would restart. I don't know how, but I got everybody to start playing this game. We were playing it like it was the fucking Super Bowl. If someone dropped it at cheese ball 8, there was fists being thrown. Just a dumb fucking game that you play with your friends. But I remember he comes in and I go cheese ball and he goes, no. And ever since then, I was like, hey, Just like every other human on this earth, I hope he does well. I hope he does good things.
I don't. The feeling is not mutual. What an unbelievably unhinged fucking take. Oh my God. Okay. I think I was in my cool phase. So probably what actually happened is I probably rolled up, literally. I probably had wheelies, the rollerblades in your shoes thing. And I had the sunglasses because you can balance them perfectly up here. And he probably asked me, and I was like, no. And then I did this, and the sunglasses fell on my face. And then I rolled backwards out the fucking door. I was like, talk to me when you're CCV, concurrent viewership? Talk to me when you're CCV's 5K, kid. And then I bounced, and he was like, fuck. He was like, fuck. This was right after TwitchCon, by the way. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is bro, I am stoned out of my mind. Which was fine, but then that party broke and now there's like a million people here around me.
One Destiny, Acid Land, Joe Mama.
It was like us five. I think it was me, Sue, Joe, and I think V. We were just like hanging out here we were hanging out for a while. And then like, yeah, and then like 1,000 fucking people show up because another party broke. And it's like, fuck. I don't even know if this is what Ludwig is talking about though.
Clint
took TV, I would fucking die for you.
Whoa, okay. Goolsby?
Cutie telling the story. Oh my God, do we have multiple points of view? No, wait. This is a story of me on this roof, I think.
My head, and I get a knock on my door from Flirtini. She's like, "Cutie,
right?
Someone fell through the roof."
Yeah, because somebody, probably Wes, stepped on the thing and broke the fucking roof mirror window. I don't know what the fuck, a skylight, whatever you call it. Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" Because we have a skylight. We had a skylight.
Oh
and
my
I was
gosh.
like, what is going on? Like, what is going on?
Was it Maya?
Turns out it was Wes, by the way, smashed through the skylight.
What?
Yes. And so I'm like livid. I'm like, okay, I'm ending this party. I'm not interested in hanging out with people I don't know. So I go upstairs on the roof because we had like a weird like hangout spot on the roof. And I go upstairs on the roof, I stand on a table, and I was like, if I don't know your fucking name, get out of my house. And then I look at Destiny is high as fuck. Destiny is high as fuck on the couch and is staring at me like I caught him smoking weed for the first time, and he's 14 and I'm his mother. He's just like, dude, if you were in my head. And
Yeah, actually, yes. But Ludwig must be talking about some other thing, but I don't remember. I don't remember any cheeseball thing. Okay. Didn't she retell the story later to make you look bad? I don't know.
Ludwig doesn't take stances. Like Ludwig will be like, yeah, guys, I'm on every side possible, right? Chat. This is Ludwig. Guys, I'm on everybody's side. Okay, guys, I'm on your side and your side. And people come in and say, hey, yo, lad, you need to take one side. It's now we need to make a decision. And Ludwig's doing like this. And he just disappears. Like, chat, every time, chat, you know for chat, you know he does that. You know he does. He's on every side, and when it's time to choose, he vanishes, okay? Every time. Ludwig doesn't take stand.
True.
So I personally donated 10K because I think it is worthwhile. And if you guys got some extra bread, I would recommend you donate. But I won't throw it on you, you know what I mean?
Look at the bottom bar. Emergency rent. Jesus Christ.
This is a cracker take.
Yes, this is.
Say that, you know what I mean? That's why it's the difference.
This is a cracker take. This is a cracker take.
Yes, I agree with the second one. It gets better.
I don't need to enter a fucking debate about whether that's worthwhile.
Okay.
And that's
Okay, America has to be destroyed, but for other reasons. Okay.
I think is something that you're right is rejected by the.
Rare Denims moment where she's actually at her. God, I hate Twitch. God, fuck. Somebody pointed this out to me once, and it lives in my brain rent-free forever. You know that for the first, like, maybe she's changed. To be fair, maybe she's changed. For the first hour of every stream, she just streams like a YouTube video, like literally an hour, or like a news station. It's like unreal. This is unhinged.
Saddam Hussein now.
Only one-sided because someone wink you.
And like the worst part about that stuff.
Oh wait, she only goes for 45 minutes here this time.
Too.
Or wait, 50 minutes? Okay, not bad, not bad.
All this propaganda.
Oh, and the rest is...
Not the police.
Oh! Wait, what is this? Hello? What is this? Wait, what's the... Do I have a police siren sound? What is this? No, I need a police siren sound effect. Oh, that works too, actually. Uh-oh. What is this? Hello? Let's see, how long is the... Oh wait, this whole thing's only 13 minutes long. The fuck?
It also requires that we ignore...
Oh, it's just a YouTube video stream. Nice, base, okay. Based, Oh, wait, that last YouTube video we watched, there was a 30-minute video before the 50-minute video. So it was actually an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, I thought she'd done less than an hour, but she'd done over an hour that day. Okay. What about this one? Let's see. 3-hour stream. Let's try 45 minutes in.
The plot on
okay.
Are
these all videos?
Strong man.
We okay.
Call him here.
55 minutes? Oh,
Things will, like, some places will stay open.
Okay.
Small businesses like ours to stay in business at a session. We're removed enough now to know that the effects were...
Listen, man, it's your life.
Oh, she's just on the...
Sorry, I was literally like, I'm never doing orange again.
Oh, there we go. How long on this one?
Which is why it's not shelved with
okay.
them. And that authorization...
actively and repeatedly shielded
Worse is looking out in the backyard and seeing that the lawn is too capable of spending. Everyone should be to make YouTube videos. He took home roughly 19%.
This wasn't bad.
Right now.
She started talking like 30 minutes in. That's a strong...
It really is.
Yeah, 35, 40 minutes.
Ballot restricted.
Okay. Do we have anything else? Are we good? Don't care about this. I love you guys. I'll be back. I might stream tomorrow or I might stream in 3 days. I don't fucking know. We'll see. Have fun, be careful. We're gonna cappuccino. Be careful.